In this question, you're asked to determine whether these lines are parallel. Parallel meaning they'd be like train tracks. Perpendicular, so like streets, they cross bang on. Uh, or neither, so they'd just be lines that cross with no special angle in between them. So to determine that, you want to figure out what their slopes are. So for the first one, this one, the slopes would be the same. So the slope of the first one and the slope of the second would be the same. For perpendicular, their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. Another way of saying that is that slope 1 times slope 2 comes out to negative 1. But an example of that would be, like, say the slope of one line is 2/3. The slope of a perpendicular line would be the flip of that, so 3/2. And you have to change the sign. So this is positive, so this one would be negative. And then for the slope of the last one, it would just be the slopes aren't the same, or they're negative reciprocals. They're not never negative reciprocals of each other. So to determine which of those three it is, I need to take these and find the slope of them. Let's do it with the first line. So 3x minus 12y equals negative 14. And what I want to do is make it look like this so that I can then determine the slope. So I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. So I'd have minus 12y equals negative 3x minus 14. And then I'll divide both sides by, or divide all the terms by negative 12. Divide negative 12, divide negative 12. Okay, so the 12s and the minuses cancel, so I'm just left with y. The minuses cancel. If you simplify 3/12, it comes out to 1/4 x, and then plus whatever 14/12 is. I guess 2 will divide into both of those, so we'll call it 7/6. So that's the equation of the first line, and its slope is 1/4. So if the next one has the same slope of 1/4, then they'll be parallel. Or if they're negative reciprocals of each other, it'd be perpendicular. Or if it's neither one of those two, then you'd say they just cross somewhere else, but they're neither parallel nor perpendicular. Okay, let's try the next one. 32x plus 12y equals negative 14. So subtract 32x on both sides. So I'll get 12y is equal to negative 32x minus 14. Then I'll divide both sides by, or divide everything by 12. So I get y is equal to negative, I think 4 will go into each of those. So it'd be 8/3 x minus whatever 14/12 is, that'd be 7/6 again. But the slope is negative 8/3. When I compare that with 1/4, they're not the same, so they're not parallel, nor are they negative reciprocals of each other, so they're not perpendicular, so they must be neither. They'll just cross somewhere. Now we can confirm that using decimals. Let me get decimals going here. So I can type the equations out as they are, or I can type them as I've changed them to y equals mx plus b. I think I'll just try and type them as they were. So 3x minus 12y equals negative 14. 14. Okay, there's the first line. Second line, 32x plus 12y equals minus 14. There we go. So you take a look at them, and that's sort of hard to tell, really. If you take a look at them, they don't look like they're crossing bang on the line. It's sort of hard to tell, hey? You have to try and get in decimals, try and get the grade or the grids exactly the same. But you take a look at them, and this blue line to be perpendicular would have to have been something like that. So it's not perpendicular, nor is it parallel, therefore they're neither.